I quit my full-time job about a year and a half ago. And by the grace of God, I was able to build my business to 10K a month plus after 6 months. Today, I'm going to share with you guys just 5 things I've learned from this year and a half journey of growing my business. Hi, my name is Owen Larson, and for some context, I run a marketing agency. Used to be video, and now it's built into marketing, a lot of different things. But ultimately, we help service-based businesses grow and produce more revenue with videos and ads, etc. So I'm here to try to drop some value, not talk about me. So if you want to learn more about me, you can visit the channel or my Instagram. So for some more context with the job though, this was a logistics company, and nothing against it, but we had to cold call like 120 people a day. Otherwise you're probably getting fired. At this point in time, I was like, okay, I have the sales skills. I built a book of business there. And if I could do that with trucking and logistics sales, I can do it for something I enjoy doing, like using the camera and helping businesses. So it was a scary jump. I only had like one client, but I had one shoot that paid for 2/3 of what I got paid working a month at this place. I'm like, all right, let's do it. And yeah, I started doing everything. Started cold calling, started emailing, hitting people up from the past, like trying to figure out how do I actually grow my business. I remember my wife and I were even storyboarding and kind of mapping out like goals for the year. This is like right after we got married, a couple months later after I quit my job. We're writing down on this whiteboard type of thing and just putting the goals down there. I'm looking at it right now. It's in my closet. Total revenue, 110K within the year. I think we hit that within 6 months by the grace of God. Again, all glory to God. I don't say these numbers to boast, but just to show you guys like possibility of actually like being able to do something you like doing and fulfill God's purpose in running a business. I'm going to tell you the things that, I did to get to where I am. I'm not special, and really it's solely up to God. So that brings me to my first point. The biggest thing I learned throughout the past year and a half is I am not the one that provides. It's God. There's so many different deciding factors if you're even going to be in business next month. There's so many times where I was like, shoot, if we don't close enough deals this month, we're not going to be able to pay the bills. Especially when you start making that money, like you're going to your expenses are also going to increase unless you're smarter than me. But ultimately, you need a place to live, expenses, all that stuff. But you get to a point where, you could have some down months, especially during the holidays, and you're like, okay, what's next? How am I supposed to, provide here? It's funny because I really do believe God keeps you dependable on him because he wants a relationship and he loves you. It's just really cool to look back at it. All the moments that I lost a big client, or I just didn't have enough deals that month, I'm digging into the savings. Those are really hard times because it's just those times you really want to almost give up and be like, well, I gotta find a different job. It's not gonna work. Relying on God and surrendering your business to him, I'll tell you, it's a lot more peaceful, and seemingly he likes to bless you more in that case. Do not neglect the fact that you need to go out there and work hard and be consistent. That brings me to number 2, consistency and hard work. You can learn all the information and pay for all the information, all the mentors, all the courses, which I did. That'll be my third point. But the thing is, if you don't work hard and implement these things and you're not consistent with them, it's just not going to happen. God will put you in the right position. He'll give you the opportunities. But if you're not doing your part, you can't expect to grow a business. So you got to do your part. Don't forget that. So again, with being consistent, if you continue to do what's working, you're going to have no problem. There's really not much I can expand on with working hard and being consistent. So there's certain things you can do to stay productive. Like you got to have a calendar. You got to have a notebook or a to-do list. I use the app Todoist. You need to have daily tasks. Daily goals, monthly goals, yearly goals. There's a thing called like SMART goals, specific, measurable, attainable. So you want to be reasonable with your goals, but you need that in place to know like what are you even striving for. And then you have to take daily steps and actions. That brings me to number 3 is enjoy the process. I can put more emphasis on this because I look back even longer than, the time I quit my job like years ago. You're always wanting to get to the next step. You're always wanting to do the next thing. You always want the next thing. And then you want to do this. And then you achieve that. You go to the next thing. It's like Lord willing, you're inevitably going to get to where you want to go and achieve the goals you want to achieve. If you're putting in the work, you're probably going to get there. What's the point in, constantly focusing on, what's next? You got to focus on what's now. What are you doing today that's going to bring you to where you want to go? And I think the more that you enjoy the process, the better you're going to be in your daily task, and you're going to be able to take care of your clients better. As a little side note, do more client check-ins. Make sure that you're doing the work well. I've learned a lot over the past year and a half of just even client fulfillment, how to be better at, checking in on clients, make sure things are working. Part of the reason I lost a big client was part of my fault of just not doing what I was needing to do and not checking in enough. But you learn those things, especially if you're haven't been in business for long. You're going to learn a lot of these things. So that brings me to point number 4. You need to constantly be learning. It kind of goes along with enjoying the process, but you need to find a mentor, a program, a friend, teammates, and you need to constantly be learning. Your first $10,000 is most likely an information problem. How do you actually get to that 10K? You need to pick a lane, pick a niche, stay in it, stay consistent, and then you have to figure out, how do others, make that work? How are they in that niche getting to that 10K plus? So if that's finding a mentor or finding a program, I've been in and out of multiple programs. I'll be honest with you. You also don't want to have shiny object syndrome. Try one at a time. I've been in and out of multiple for the past, 7 years. But in the past year and a half, I've been throughout 3. And I'll be honest too, after my first one, the second one wasn't as good as the first one, but not that it was a bad program. It's just, once you're at a certain amount and you have as much of this new information as possible, it really then becomes an implementation problem. So that was the biggest thing I learned from my second program was he told me, well, it's not necessarily about learning new stuff. It's about, learning that you have to do more of what's already working. I was like, okay. But you need to know, what works before. So, side note, if you're building a business, if you're a videographer, trying to run an agency, marketing company, I've been through the dumps and back. So if you're starting from ground zero, if you want to learn something, we can chat, see if it even makes sense for you. Again, I'm not trying to promote anything on here, but the cool thing about working with people that are doing better than you is you see things that you haven't seen before. You're taught lessons that they learned. You get to those moments, you're able to take the information you've learned from these people that have already done it. So really, it's a speed thing. And you have to have you almost have to switch your mindset too with, the money that you're making. If you want to hit 10K, you really do have to believe that that's achievable. I mean, it's as simple as I don't want it to be all you just have to believe in yourself. It's not that. It's just it's simple. If you think you can hit that 10K and you do the steps you need to take, you're probably gonna hit that. But if you're that's way too much money, I don't think I'll ever be able to hit that. So if you're telling yourself that, then you're most likely not even gonna take the action steps to get there. So it's you already lost. Another thing is realizing in business, you'll probably get to talk to a lot of different millionaires and successful business owners. And from my experience, you see them viewing money as a tool, and it's really pocket change for them to make $10,000 a month. And you start to see that, especially as you invest into systems and programs and subscriptions and everything you need to run your business. It's really just, okay, here's a money for tools to ultimately make you more money. So if you're investing $7,000+ into a program, as long as that program is going to give you the information to make you more than $7,000, it's worth it. That's what I've found. My next point would be sales and marketing. Whatever business you're in as a business owner, you need to know sales, and you need to at least understand marketing and why it helps. As you get deeper and deeper into business, you're going to realize that your time is pretty valuable, and you're going to realize that it's going to be used in different places of your business. And some places are more effective to have your time in than other places. And you have to keep track of that. So tracking things, tracking metrics for marketing, KPIs, tracking your time. So there's a lot of different things. And this is stuff when you get past that 10K mark. If you could get to 10K by yourself, but if you want to get past that, you're probably going to want a team. You're probably going to want people helping you. But sales, learning to talk to people, connecting with people, I'm telling you, just by connections alone, you can build a business. This guy might know some guy that has what you need. This guy has a friend that has a dad that has a business that needs your help from your business. Like, you never know. That's why you have to shake a lot of hands. Go to networking events, outreach to people, inbound, outbound leads with Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, you name it. You need to pick something. You need to advertise more. The problem is no one knows you exist yet. So how do you become more known? Sales, you got to learn how to sell something. You got to know as a business owner the ins and outs of your business and how to do every bit and part of it before you delegate it to. So you can know if this guy's BSing or if he's doing a good job or not. You need to know that. And honestly, I would feel guilty personally if I didn't edit for 10 years straight and I just, paid an editor and was just like, yeah, here you go. But yeah, you could have like systems and processes are great and you need that in place. You need a great product. But the thing is, like, if you believe in your product and you can sell well, you're good. I mean, some of your service or whatever you're selling to the point where, you're able to get those systems and processes, do that first. The first and foremost is getting the actual business. So again, you need to find an outlet for that and then sell. You can always get better at sales. A lot of what sales, I'll make a whole video on sales, but the biggest thing with sales is like asking questions, diagnosing the problem, having them diagnose their own problem and make them realize that and then solve that problem for them. Asking great questions and listening intently. That's really what sales is all about. There's all different types of tricks and different scripts and objection handling, all that stuff. But at the end of the day, like, everyone's going to have a different type of sales experience and expertise. Really, it just comes down to making sure, you can ask questions to get to the problem and then you solve the problem. All right, my last point is just don't give up. Like, seriously, keep going. Use my story as proof. Like, I hope this is inspiring and motivating in some way. That's the only reason I share the numbers. Like, I want you to realize that you can do it too. And consistency, it's crazy. One thing that helps me realize how powerful consistency is looking back at my old YouTube videos from when I was 12 and seeing how far I've came with just being able to edit and film. Like, the difference in the quality, it's insane. Like, you can look all around. Like, I'm sure you grew up playing a sport. You're obviously a lot better at a sport, the more years you play the sport. It's the same thing with business. And if you really want something, you're going to take the steps to do it. So get out there, use this information now, go grow that business, go do it. Just do that thing. But yeah, if you need any of my help or if you are a service-based business, feel free to click the link in the bio here to book a call with me, check out some of my other stuff, subscribe for some content like this. Or if you're just a videographer or trying to start your business off, maybe I'd be able to help you. If not, just look at all the content and I hope that you can get some value from this. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day and week and year, and let's crush it.